morning or afternoon or evening, depending on when anybody's listening to this. This is Wendy Harrington with Beacon Creative Lab. And I am here with Christi Lowe of Christi Lowe Productions. Very excited to get to talk to her. Very seasoned professional when it comes to videography. And I think she's going to have some great information for everybody about our favorite topic, which is how to generate higher profit revenue. And in her case, it's going to be through video. So thanks so much, Christi, for making time to come on today. I want to, I guess maybe first just give everybody a little background. Tell us how you got into video and what it is that makes you love this medium so much.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me, Wendy. So I started out in my video journey in college, actually. I went to school to be a TV news reporter and spent 25 years on camera doing TV news in different markets in the country. And then, so I've always kind of been involved with video storytelling, reporting the news, in some sort of way. And then when I got out of doing TV news, I started this business, Christi Lowe Productions, and kind of took those visual storytelling skills and used them to help businesses get better conversions with their videos.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I can only imagine, even having looked at just a little bit of the sample footage you have that it runs real quickly on your website. I just see brave written all over that.
And
I
guess
guess
brave is the right word. It's all I've ever done. So I'm used to it. Right.
Oh, sure. It's where your home is. So you're comfortable there. But I would guess that you had a lot of, I don't know, maybe practice as well as indoctrination into coming up with a way to tell an interesting story quickly also.
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
there something like a I don't know, something we can keep in mind as we're thinking about our work to do a better job of sort of getting it to the heart of something fast?
Yeah, absolutely. Whether it's for marketing or it's a TV news report, right? Like we were always taught you have to get the viewer's attention right away, right? For TV news, and maybe the same is true with folks that are watching marketing videos, but definitely for TV news, you're on the air when people are cooking their dinner, people are chasing their kids around the living room, they're busy doing other things, they're not just sitting and usually solely focusing on watching the news. So you got to get their attention. And so you want to start your video with something very catchy, very interesting, something about that story, whatever it is, that gets their attention. You start with that, and then you kind of backtrack and get to, in the middle part of your video, the meat of the story, as I would call it, right? The real content there. And then you want to finish it with a very powerful ending as well, something that leaves the viewer going, oh, wow, that was really good. So it's kind of the basics of storytelling, right? So start with something super interesting that gets your attention, then get to the meat of your story, then finish with something really interesting. And that's what I always try to do, whether it's news or a marketing video.
Oh, that's such a great piece of advice. And now you're going to make me have to go back and re-edit all of these recordings that I've done where I started with the hello, and really I should be pulling something from the middle that's juicy and putting that as a tease at the beginning. All right, so got my homework now.
You can do it.
But yeah, I mean, you're right. And, some of it is that, making that connection with where people are, whatever their need or demand is, which of course is something that, always want to do in marketing stuff in general. But I love it. That's going to be really helpful for people. So,
Yeah,
I
no
think,
worries.
with video, we were just talking a little bit before we hit record that, there's been a huge rise in video just in general. I mean, I think you had even pointed out to me, Entrepreneur Magazine had this quote about 2021 being the year of video for small business and small to medium-sized business. So I guess, as you're talking to people who are coming to you for business video, what are you seeing as far as either trends or things that are really helpful types of videos, or like how it's sort of weaving into their communication plan overall, just, through the COVID and coming into this year?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the types of videos might vary a little bit depending on what kind of business you have, right? So, it's not cookie cutter in the sense of, a video that I do for a doggy daycare isn't going to be exactly the same as a video that I'm doing for a restaurant. They're two completely different businesses. However, my clients that I've talked to have been telling me that since COVID, and so kind of the end of last year and the first part of this year, they have been noticing that obviously they've had kind of a decrease in sales. They've kind of lost some of that traction. And they have been noticing that when they are doing their videos now, their sales are going up. Not that their sales weren't going up from videos before, but they're seeing a big increase in traffic coming in as a result of their video campaigns. And so they're doing different kinds of campaigns. The doggy daycare that I just mentioned, they're really running YouTube ads, videos that play, we all have to watch them before we actually can get to the video we want on YouTube. But he's had really, really good results with those, with the YouTube ads. He's just now starting a Facebook ad campaign, little 10, 15-second video ads that are going to play on Facebook. And he's like, I'm amazed at how much more his sales have gone up just as a result of pushing the videos out there. And it's more, he told me, he's like, Christi, it's even more important that we keep doing this right now because I have to get traffic in my door. And so for him, those little short Facebook videos, each one is highlighting a different service that he offers. So one's about their boarding overnight service. One's about their doggy daycare where they just come for a few hours during the day. One video will be about the grooming services they offer. And then he's kind of got his overall branding story, which talks about everything they do and what makes them different, that he's running to in a longer form post with captions, because captions are super important right now, as you know, because people aren't always listening as they scroll. So we're putting captions on everything for him now. So I think it's really, the strategy might be different for different businesses, but I think it's really important that you are using captions and you're using those attention getting things that we kind of talked about in your videos.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And I think that one of the things that I feel is really helpful about video is, because the thing that usually sets you apart, yeah, you've got all your features and your, particular price or something wonderful about your product, but it's that human to human connection, particularly for local businesses, but not only local, that actually helps you kind of draw people in. It's that light that makes people want to go and see you and pick up the phone and choose you over somebody else. So video allows that to really come to life, and in a way that is very difficult to achieve quickly in any other medium. So, and of course, a lot of the opportunities are relatively inexpensive, or we'll call it free, but nothing's ever free. There's time invested, if nothing else. So I think that's another place where video has an advantage, even if you're not buying ads, right? I mean, you've got, through your various social media campaigns, you can get, obviously things could go viral, but even if they don't go truly viral, just those people that you're passing in front of, they tend to have a fairly long life as people like, it prompts more shares. And we know the platforms are pushing out video more, which is probably another piece of why video's on the rise, because it does keep people usually on a platform, and that's something that they like. But I know that you have worked long and hard over 2020 with something new for small businesses, and I guess marketing departments as well can take advantage of this, because while video is great, there's a certain investment to have a professional come in, but not every video maybe needs to have a pro, right? Is what you're saying. So tell us about your new course.
Right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. So this has been kind of my wish project, right? I've been wanting to do this for a very long time, because I always meet people who know they need to be doing videos. They want to be doing videos, but they can't afford to hire someone to do it. It's a struggle, right? Especially for small businesses. and even right now, because some of
Mhm.
these businesses are barely keeping the lights on and the doors open. So I get it. I'm a small business too. I'm just me, myself, and I right now. So I've been wanting to, for a very long time, create a video course that people can download and watch in their own time, in their own space, and really sort of absorb the information, going at their own pace, taking the time to teach them sort of the basic fundamentals of making good videos,
Mm.
start to finish, right? So this course is not about learning one thing. I'm not just going to teach you how to, you know, put a microphone on somebody. I'm not just going to teach you a kind of video that you could do. I'm not just going to teach you how to put a title on your video. I am teaching you everything that you need to know, all the basics from start when you're coming up with your plan of creating the videos, what kind of videos are going to work, showing you examples of what I mean by those types of videos that you might want to do, all the way up to filming it, editing it, right? And getting it all put together. And even the last part of the course is doing everything with your cell phone. So for people who just don't have a camera, they're not going to go buy a camera. That's not feasible right now. It's okay. You'll still learn everything that you need to know technically, the actual real practical hands-on way of doing it with your cell phone.
Yeah, I tell you, when I first got a chance to take a look at the course, you see there's so much stuff out on YouTube. Like, okay, Christy, really, how much can we do that's not something you could find on YouTube?
Yeah.
And it took me about 5 minutes of watching the very first video to realize the difference between being able to maybe go in and look at a particular piece of the process
Mhm.
that honestly usually takes a while just to even find a video that's going to answer the question that you need. But the difference between having someone who's just good at videos and someone who has the expertise that you have is night and day, because I found that you were packing so much information into a very small period of time, but in a logical sequence.
Mhm.
So you could take this from your planning stage through to every step of, choosing your equipment and making sure that you are setting things up correctly before you get started so that you're not wasting time. And in every single step of the way, that was, I think, one of the things that impressed me the most. Yeah, I mean, there's great quality information, but it's delivered in a way that makes it really easy to implement. And when you're
Mhm.
a small business, you don't have time to waste. So,
Right.
part of the high profit revenue is not laying money out so that you can keep more in, but also
Right.
not putting more time out so that you have it to put into other parts of your business, or, hey, just once in a while, going to see your family might be nice, you know. And I think that's another piece that I thought was really important. So, maybe for the price of of having a moderate video done professionally, which is really important to do for some of those key videos in your business, you could be doing videos every week, several
Mhm.
times a week, and have them all be of such a high quality that it helps just continue to raise your business profile.
Yeah.
And that's really important, because these, as you, as you had nicely pointed out, these shaky videos that are, make it look like there's an earthquake going on, or they're too dark, or, are just not well thought through. All of those pieces are a struggle for
Yeah.
businesses. So,
Let me give you a perfect example of that, right? So I had a client that came to me this week, and it's a nonprofit, right? And nonprofits sometimes don't have a huge marketing budget. And they came to me and they said, Christy, we've got these videos that a friend of mine at church made for me, last year, year before, whenever it was, right? It took forever to get them. But we have them now, and we need to edit them into shorter videos for social media. They've got a marketing person like yourself that's kind of working on a better strategy for them to try and get more people involved in their nonprofit, get more donations coming in, it's more volunteers, etc.
mm,
And so I said, sure, I'd be happy to help you. Send me the videos. Well, they sent me the videos, and I had to take a deep breath and go, okay, how can I politely say that these videos are not going to work, right?
yeah.
They were not filmed with a microphone on. So the audio quality is not good. It's very echoey. You can't hear the woman speaking very well.
Mhm.
And then there's music on it, which is nice, but I only have the edited videos. And so that music and her audio that you can't really hear very well are all mixed in. And there's no way for me after the fact to separate those two and
Sure.
edit her video, right? The lighting's not good. I mean, there are several things wrong with this video, and they're going to post them or have been using them as such. So you have to really think about, how does that make your business or your nonprofit look to the person watching the video?
Mhm.
And so you've got kind of two problems here. One is you can't ever do anything with those videos. I can't edit them and make them better. I can't fix it.
Mhm.
Two, that's out there, and that's the first impression in many cases that some people get, is
Mhm.
that video they saw on social, or they went to your website and they watched the video. And you have to be, I think, really cognizant of the image that you're
Mhm.
presenting. It's just like having a website that's not done well, that looks homemade, right? That's
Mhm.
got typos on it and things that are spelt wrong, and terrible quality photos and no good links. And, a bad website is going to turn people off. And the same would apply to poorly done videos. So, this class, if you take this class, you are not going to have those problems with your videos. Your videos are going to look crisp and clean and bright and well colored and sound good. And you may not be the best editor on the planet, right? You're not going to be able to edit like I edit right away, because I've been doing it for 30 years, right? But your videos are going to look polished, and they're going to sound great. And that makes a big difference.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think, as there's been a rise in people talking about the need to be, just go out there and be authentic and, be you. And all of that is true and important. But there's a big difference when you're representing your business and you know that there's going to be money exchanged between being informal and genuine and being kind of amateurish. And it does raise doubts of, well, okay, so they're not, in the case of your nonprofit, maybe they're not obviously overspending on stuff. But if you don't even have a level of credibility that makes people want to trust to give you money, then you
Right.
have an issue. And that does happen quite a bit. So, and every once in a while, having one that's whatever, it's just a really obviously informal, and you say it as you're starting, like, okay, this is not going to be the best video, but the tips that you have and the process that you help people go through in the video, I think is
Mhm.
really useful for making sure that people really, that their personality, their informality, if that's their style, comes through in a way that doesn't diminish their professionalism and the quality
Yeah.
of the work or product that the person who's viewing is going to get. So, and that again is a way to get to your higher profit revenue. So,
Yeah. And it's really
cool.
important. You mentioned earlier about, you were impressed by kind of the logical sequence of the
Mhm.
way that this class goes. You know, I really spent a lot of time just kind of thinking about this when I was writing the scripts for this video course, and thinking about, okay, Christy, let's go back to when you first were learning
Mm.
30 years ago how to do this, right? What did you struggle with? What was difficult for you? What were the things that you had to learn first to then progress and get better? And so I really did try to sit down and kind of think about the small business owner who knows nothing about video, because it's easy for me to say, oh, well,
Mhm.
just go do this, right? Because that's what I do. But so I had to really kind of go back to the beginning and really kind of think about the logical way of the order of things in which you're going to learn, because it makes no sense to focus on polish and editing if the video that you shot is not good to start with.
Mhm.
So it,
Yeah.
it matters the order of how you learn to do things. And so that I think it's important for business owners to do that when they're making their videos. And I think they'll find, if they get the beginning part right,
Mhm.
it's a lot easier to finish it.
Yeah.
You can't fix something you did wrong as easily as you can just do it right to start with. and then have less problem later, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And I could
Absolutely.
apply that to a lot of areas of my life, actually. If I'd just done it right the first time, it would have had a much better result.
Absolutely. And, and everything, we always get better with practice. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I guess just sort of coming up to a close so we don't keep people for too long and you get to get back to work. I'm going to put the links to how they can find out more information about the course. And anything else that you want to make sure people know?
Yeah. Just know, right, that you are not going to instantly be perfect, and it's okay, right? Because this course is about getting better and presenting your business in the best light possible. So there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve there, and it's okay. Just accept that, practice, work on it, and you'll see a big change as you go along in the quality of the videos that you're putting out. And I'm always here for anyone that buys the class. I'm always here if you have questions, you're not sure about something, need me to look at something and tell you how to fix it and make it better. I've no problem with that. They can reach out to me anytime. I'm even going to start a Facebook group for folks who buy the class so that we can all kind of collaborate and share ideas and show our work and get ideas, bounce ideas off of each other. So it's going to be great. You're not doing this by yourself. You're doing it by yourself, but you're not by yourself.
That is really priceless support. That's hard to get no matter what it is that you're buying, especially to be able to do the course on your own time. So I love that additional thing. So you get to get better, and you'll see the more videos that you do, not only will your videos get better, but people will be much more familiar with your business. And knowing what you have to offer is going to help drive traffic, drive sales. So I highly recommend the course, highly recommend that you start working on more video. And apparently I need to practice what I preach.
We all need to do it, not just
right. All right. Well, thank you so much, Christi. Again, this is Christi Lowe, Christi Lowe Productions. And thanks very much for tuning in, folks. And we'll see you next time.